Arsenal 4, Ipswich 0. Here's the match reaction to that. So yes, Arsenal making very light work of Ipswich in this performance. And look, it was a very, very efficient performance that built on top of what we already established midweek when we beat Real Madrid. But in terms of the stakes of the game, it was a bit of a strange one for a couple of reasons. So for Arsenal, obviously, we're not looking like we're going to lift the title. It would be very, very doubtful. And at the very least, what we're doing is delaying Liverpool's lifting of the title at this present moment. And then equally for Ipswich, it's like they're basically down, but they're not yet down. And there's a possibility mathematically that they could stay up if West Ham lost all of their games. So the stakes are there mathematically, but practically they're not. But from an Arsenal perspective, it was positive to see Leandro Trossard getting back on the score sheet with two tidy finishes. I feel like in both of the instances, there may have been a little bit of sloppy defending on Ipswich's part, but at the end of the day, he's still got to finish your dinner. It was also great to see Martinelli continue his goal-scoring form. And look, I think since he's come back from the hamstring injury, he's shown a vast improvement in terms of the threat he's showing, and some of the decision-making has been improved. There was a few times in this game where it could have been better, but again, he's got his goal, got a goal in the midweek, and we got to praise him for that. Now, a big talking point is the red card. I don't think there's any question about it. It's high, it's a silly challenge, really. And look, it deserved the red card that it got because we've seen those being given all season long. So a bit of consistency, finally, from the PGMOL. But in terms of the potential injury to Saka, look, I think a lot of people panicked about it, understandably. But at the end of the day, he played an extra, 10-15 minutes to the second half. And then, he's on the bench with ice around his ankle. If it was that serious, he wouldn't be sitting there. And also, Arteta's come out and said that he's absolutely fine and should be good to go for the next one. So I think people are worrying. I get it, but relax. But ultimately, the game, like I said, weird in terms of the stakes and in terms of how it played out, is very dominant, very one-sided by Arsenal, which was great to see, but it didn't make for that much of a compelling watch. I think, obviously, the gaps in Ipswich's game were on offer to show. And then in terms of our efficiency at the moment, we just dispatched them. And Ian McKenna saying that the standard that we played at was the highest that they've faced this season, which is testament to how we're playing at the moment. But look, these are just my thoughts on what was a very comfortable Easter Sunday for the Arsenal. Football is nothing but opinions, and I want to know what your opinions are. What did you think of this game, people? Let me know what you're thinking right there in the comments.